Okay, hey guys, welcome back to ADPC Customs. And today, I'm not really sure what kind of a video I wanted to make today, so I was just browsing around online and I came across a couple of old videos on YouTube, and one of which was Chris Titus Tech. Some of you may have heard of Chris Titus Tech's YouTube channel, and I'll try and remember to link to his channel in the description. Basically, he's another tech tuber, another tech channel, and he has got a utility. He's made a script, and I think it's worth taking a look at, and I thought I'd bring you guys along for the ride. So let's have a look-see, shall we? So here we are. We're on his web page. The Ultimate Windows Utility. This is a tool that has evolved over several years and achieves much more than just debloating a Windows install. I've expanded it to install all the programs you select, which is a bigger selection than Ninite. The classic debloat is there, but also includes a tweak section with quality of life features. To round out everything, I've included my recommended settings for Windows Update that I use in a variety of businesses. Misuse of this utility can break your install, so please be careful, and I do not provide any help or assistance should this happen. So it's basically use at your own risk. And I do apologize if you can hear the fan in the background. It is as hot as heck today, and I am melting. So yeah, the utility is basically use at your own risk, but it can improve a lot of your day-to-day use of your PC. So the way to use it is you copy this command, and then you need to run an elevated PowerShell, an administrator PowerShell. So, oops. So, we'll run as an administrator. We'll run the x86. Okay, and here we are. So here's the PowerShell. Adjust this a little bit. And paste in the command and enter. And wait while it does its thing. There we go. And here we are. This is the utility. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of things here in the install section. So basically, you get your, you've got your tooltip. Tells you what each thing is, and then you've got your little question mark at the end, which takes you to the website. So you've got an entire section here for web browsers, an entire section for communications, which will be your chat apps, email, and so on, I think. Or is it just chat? Fork of Mozilla Thunderbird, yeah. Desktop, never heard of it. It's a cross-platform Electron-based desktop app aiming to give you a snappier Discord experience. There we go. Development tools, GitHub, Fork, Docker, etc. Python, and so on. Document editing for games, PS Remote Play, Steam, Microsoft tools. some of those might actually be useful to you. Auto runs, Power Automate, PowerShell, PowerToys. Some of these I've already got. Excuse me. A whole swath of multimedia tools that you might find useful, including OBS Studio, VLC Player, Blender, Audacity, FreeCAD, and so on. Some Pro Tools, Advanced IP Scanner, EFI, Boot Editor, OpenVPN Connect, Rust Desk, and so on. Some handy utilities, password managers, compression software like 7-Zip, Renamer, Advanced Renamer, which is also very useful. Hardware Info and Hardware Monitor, and a few other similar things. WinRAR, and so on and so forth. So basically what you do is, if you wanted to install a bunch of these things, what you would do is you would locate what you want to install. So let's have a look. See, not really, I don't really need much of this at the moment, but you select it like so, and then click install/upgrade selected, and it will install it. I assume that upgrade all will find anything that you've actually got installed already that's on this list and upgrade it if there's an upgrade available. And select all these things as well. Select a bunch of things on these and uninstall them if they're installed. Get installed. I wonder what that does. Click that. Does that? Getting installed programs. So what it looks like that does is it will check to see what on this list is already installed on the system. Yeah. So PowerToys is on here, MSI Afterburner, Oracle VirtualBox, Revo Uninstaller, Rainmeter, Crystal Diskmark, all of these. And then you've got the option to upgrade them or uninstall them, or just clear the selection. It's quite handy as well, because if the uninstaller is a pretty good one, then it will get rid of all of these things. I mean, obviously, there are other uninstall packages available. Didn't notice that I've got Chrome installed. I have got Chrome installed. That's a bit of an issue. So clear the selection because I'm not going to do anything with this at the moment. Let's have a look at the tweaks. So the tweaks section gives you some essential tweaks and some advanced tweaks that it says, you know, be careful. So you can create a restore point, delete your temporary files, disable the consumer features, which Windows 10 will not automatically install any games, third-party apps, or application links from the Windows Store for the signed-in user. Some default apps will be inaccessible, e.g. phone link. So it'll get rid of that'll get rid of a bunch of the bloat that it pre-installs. Disable telemetry. Wrong disk cleanup, blah, 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 blah. And then you've got your advanced tweaks. Adobe Network Block, which will reduce user interruptions by selectively blocking connections to Adobe's activation and telemetry servers. Adobe Debloat manages Adobe services, Adobe Desktop Service, and Acrobat updates. Disable IPv6, disable full screen optimizations, disable Microsoft Copilot, disable Intel vPro LMS. LMS service is always listening on all ports and could be a huge security risk. There's no need to run LMS on home machines, and even in the enterprise, there are better solutions. So you can get rid of that. Set display for performance. Set the right click classic menu. Set the time to UTC. Remove Microsoft Store apps. Not recommended. Remove Edge. Not recommended. Remove OneDrive. Run O&O Shutup 10. So if we go into that, that should open a new thing and not actually do anything. Yeah. So you've got your options here to disable and enable things as you wish here, for the current user and for the whole machine. Disable a bunch of things in here if you so choose. I have not changed anything. And here's your customized preferences. So you can enable dark theme for Windows, enable Bing search in the start menu, enable number lock on startup, enable verbose messages during logon, snap window, snap assist flyout, enable snap assist suggestion, enable mouse acceleration, sticky keys, hidden files, show file extensions, show the search button in the taskbar. I've already disabled that using something else. Show task view button in taskbar. I've disabled that. I don't like it. Don't use it. Switch taskbar items between center and left. I'm using Windows 10 and I'm using something called Taskbar X, which has customized my taskbar, as you can see. Show widgets button in taskbar, and then add and activate ultimate performance profile, remove ultimate performance profile, create WinUtil shortcut. So you can create a shortcut to this that is saved on your system, and you can create a new power profile. Add and activate ultimate performance profile. So click that, let's see. What's that done? Ultimate performance plan is now active, so that's just activated it. It's not. So we'll remove that now because I don't. Balance plan is now active. That's the default. I might adjust that later. And then you've got your config. So you can install these features and sort all these things out. You can remove Adobe Creative Cloud, which I think I already removed after being very, very angry with Adobe. Everyone's already aware of this. It's been in the tech news a lot just lately. Adobe has got a nasty membership scheme at the moment. They don't tell you which version of their subscription you've taken out, and they also don't tell you that you're going to have to pay over £150, $150 or whatever it is to get out of your overpriced subscription for Adobe's services. And those services, while certain Adobe products are very good at what they do, they aren't exactly stable on a lot of systems. So let's have a look, see what this is. I can't read any of this. Whoa, why? Why does it have to be done like this? End user agreement for Adobe. Put this back to normal. So this gives you the choice of uninstalling everything made by Adobe that's on your system, or individual things, fix the host file, or Creative Cloud only, all 2014 apps, all CC apps, Creative Cloud and CS6 products, the Flash player, and so on. So what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm going to exit that because I don't think I've got any Adobe stuff left on here, and if I have, it's probably Acrobat, and I'm not sure if I still use that or not, so for now we'll leave that. updates section. So you can set certain settings for Microsoft Update. So you've got the option here, as you can see, default out-of-the-box settings, which is how it is when you initially set up Windows. Security settings, which will mean it'll defer feature updates and just install security updates. And disable all, which is not recommended because it could make your system vulnerable. And then you've got this section, which is the micro win. Enables you to create your own custom ISO file or ISO file for installing Windows. So instead of getting a standard Windows install, you get your personalized Windows install every time you use that install media. So you download this, download an ISO, and just run it, and it will create your own custom install. So yeah, this is, and you've got the option to save this. So yeah, you set up your installs, you set up your tweaks and your config and everything, and you can export this, basically save it as basically like a preferences. You save this, and every time you come to set up a new version of Windows, you click on the shortcut that you've created for it, and it will automatically open and run this, as long as you've installed this as well, and it will just get all the software that you've got selected and install it and do all your debloat for you. So, and I just thought it was worth looking at. The pieces of software like this are very useful for people who are wanting to personalize their system, get rid of unnecessary software. You can get rid of a lot of software that is pre-installed on the system by just uninstalling it. But the way that Microsoft have programmed and coded and built Windows, you cannot get rid of Edge in its entirety. You can uninstall it using uninstall commands, but there'll still be shortcuts lying around, and certain files will stay on the system because Windows wants to use Edge for everything. Don't get me wrong, Edge isn't a bad browser these days. I don't mind it. I just don't like having it forced down my throat every 5 seconds. You go onto onto Edge, and you go to look up, say for instance, you look up Google Chrome, you're curious, you've never used it and you're curious about it. Oh no, please don't. Please don't. Edge is really good too, you know, blah, 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 blah. These days, there's very little to choose between the two of them. I quite like using Edge for certain things, and I quite like using Chrome for more or less everything else. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty good piece of software that was worth looking at, because there's a whole bunch of software here that's listed that it will automatically get and install for you that you might not know that you need or want, or wouldn't know where to find it. So this is quite useful. One thing I would suggest they add now would be the NVIDIA app as opposed to GeForce Now, seeing as how the NVIDIA app is available and GeForce Now is being kind of retired. So, but yeah, check out Chris Titus Tech. Check out his website, his YouTube channel. I'm going to create a shortcut for that. I might choose to run it later. And yes, we'll stick that on the desktop, even though I don't have desktop icons enabled. But yeah. There's the website right there, christitus.com/windows-tool. It explains it all here and how to use it. These screen grabs are old. But at the end of the day, it's a pretty good piece of software. Very useful. Getting rid of things, adding things you need, retweaking Windows to how you like it. Ooh, don't like that. Prefer that. So I will try to link the website. I'll try and put this link in the description. And a link to his YouTube channel in the description. And check him out. Check out this utility. This utility, great for people who are fed up of how Windows is set up. Great for people who are constantly setting up new systems or setting up multiple systems at a time to get a specific set of programs installed quickly and easily without having to browse multiple websites to get all this stuff together. So yeah, just a short video looking at Chris Titus's Ultimate Windows utility. There are other similar utilities available. Feel free to comment them in the description, in the comments below, and I'll have a look at those if you'd like and see how they stack up. And yeah, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.